Hello coders, this is a quick video to show you how to code using your CPT coding manual and coding for procedures. To quickly review exactly what is the difference between ICD-10 and CPT coding, it's really important for us as a coder to know that, because when we start coding, we have to pick up the right manual. It's very important, and you can see why right here. ICD-10 is for International Classification of Diseases. So what are we coding for? We're coding for diseases. So the question as a coder you are going to ask yourself is, what problem brought the patient to the doctor? And that problem is the disease that you're coding in ICD. The D stands for diseases. So whenever you pick up that book, you will pay attention to the D. D is for the diseases. Diseases is for the problem, the diagnosis, any kind of sickness that brought the patient to the doctor. Just for you to remember. Same as that in CPT, P is the focal point, current procedural terminology. So you're coding for the procedure, meaning what did the doctor do for the patient? So you can see the difference between both of them, and anytime you pick up the manual, you have to ask these questions in order to know, am I coding for the P or am I coding for the D? And that's the book that you're picking up. Let's review a quick question to see how to code from CPT manual. I have a question here. It says biopsy of the bladder. So remember, the question is, what did the doctor do for the patient? Because I am coding for CPT code, not ICD-10. So the P is for the procedure, and do is what did the doctor do for the patient. So we concentrate, we focus on the procedure, meaning what is the doctor doing for the patient. So the question is, what CPT code would you use to report a biopsy of the bladder by means of a scope inserted through the urethra and into the bladder? Now, I've given you a picture here to help you understand the anatomy of the system, because that's the most important thing to know in coding for CPT. So you can quickly go on internet, find a medical dictionary, or just Google biopsy of the bladder. It will give you this image, and it will help you understand the anatomy of the system, which is, as a coder, you have to be good at. So now I'm showing you the different words for the biopsy of the bladder: cystoscopy, cysto-urethroskopy. Cysto and scopy. The cysto means the bladder, scopy means to visualize or to see, which is what we are doing in this procedure. We are visualizing the bladder for any kind of a polyp, a growth, any abnormalities. Why do we call it a cysto-urethroskopy as well? Because when you pass this urethra from the outside to the inside of the body, it has to go through the urethra first and then into the bladder. Therefore, cysto-urethroskopy, 3 terms, right? And this is what makes these terminologies, and this is what helps you understand them. So make sure you review the anatomy as soon as you have a procedure to code for. What are the main steps of CPT coding? Remember, we have to follow these steps, and since you have this video to go from, make sure you write them down in your CPT coding manual somewhere so you can remember and follow those steps every time. So the first thing we want to do is always read the procedure wherever it is in the medical report and find the keywords. The keywords are your main term in the report. The second thing we do is we go and find the keyword or the main term you found in your report. We will go to the manual and find this main term along with the subterm, if there is any, in the index. So the first thing we're doing, finding the keywords, going to the index in your manual, and then finding a preliminary code selection in the index. After we find the code selection in the index, we go to the section in the beginning of the book, also sometimes related to as a tabular section. Once we find the tabular section, we will select the correct code in that section after reviewing the guidelines posted there. Okay? Once we figure out the final code, we are going to add any modifiers if needed. and we will continue to study for that later on. So what is my main term in the index that I should be looking for? Remember, what did the doctor do? Biopsy. Once I find the biopsy in the index, I will look for the subterm bladder. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so here is my CPT coding manual. I'm opening the book and I'm going to the second half of the book where I will find the index. Okay, so this is the last half of the book. Try to find that, and as soon as you turn over, you are going to see the alphabetical organization of the ABCD, right? So you are following me with the alphabetical organization, and we're looking for the word biopsy. So I'm still turning the page over until I see biopsy. And it should be right here. Okay, so do you see how I found the first page with biopsy? I am going down to find the main term biopsy. You can see it there, and I've written down biopsy for you. Under the biopsy, every word that you're seeing is aligned. First indentation and second indentation. So this is the first indentation and this is the second indentation. As I go under it, following my alphabetical order, see, did I do that right? And I see bladder right here, okay? So when you see bladder here, this is your subterm, remember? Subterm has the exact terminology of the procedure we're looking for, cystourethropy, and you have these codes given to you. You have 3 codes to find in your section, your tabular section of your CPT manual, and confirm as to which one is the right code. So let's do that. Let's go to the tabular section. Okay, so I am going to just open the book. I'm going backwards now. From the index, I just open up the book and you can see I have 644. I have 64490 and 64533. So this is just a random book opening, and I'm going to go to the left in order to find my 52204 section. So when I find this code range on the top, as you can see, I am on 51999 to 52214. This is my page, and I can also check the procedures given here. You can see that it says cystoscopy, urethropy, but my thing is to look for the code 52204, and you're right here. It says transurethral surgery, urethra bladder, and I have the code that I found in the index 52204. And so it says cystourethropy with biopsy. Okay, now remember there's another code that we found. We found 3 codes, and that is on the next page. It says 522324. This is the next code that we had a choice to select from. It says with fulguration or treatment with lesions with or with biopsy. Now remember, we have none of that information given to me in my scenario. You can go back and read the scenario and see that we don't have any such documentation in our scenario. So I cannot code from here because it doesn't match my scenario at all. There was another code, 52250, which is the same thing. It says cystourethropy with insertion of radioactive substance. I don't have that in my record, so I cannot code from here. This is the most important thing that we have to do. So now I am left with one choice only. That is 52204, cystourethropy with biopsy. And that is going to be my final selection. So this is my final selection, because remember, if we go back to the scenario again, biopsy of the bladder by means of a scope inserted through the urethra into the bladder, which is cystoscopy or cystourethropy, both has the same meaning, and we don't have any other choice. We don't have any radioactive material given. We don't have any other indication that was given to us in the 2 other codes presented here. So our code is to be finalized as 52204 in the CPT coding manual. Okay, I hope this helps, and I will make more videos for you to watch and follow the book. Have a great day, guys.